Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it's September 25th of 2022. I've made some changes, of course, which is normal for here. I hooked up, well, yesterday I took them down. I had two LG monitors up here, and they were the wide monitors. And I could not get they're really wide monitors. I couldn't get the drivers that I needed from UK or from LG for them. I had that sort of trouble in the past. And so anyway, I've switched monitors. I'm using the ViewSonic VG2755. And then over here is the LG 27UD58P. And I'm using Manicam to record this. Let me start my little beginning video intro. I'm doing this way because if I mentioned when I try editing things into my video editors, it seems like sometimes the audio gets out of sync. So instead of editing it, I'm just going to run it sometimes. Maybe I'll run it at the sometimes at the end or something. I don't think you can see that, can you? Let's see here. Whoops. Let's do this. Let's see what this shows here. Okay, that shows it. Man, every time I touch this View Avery Media, it is really hot. This is a small Roku TV. What usually happens is that I hook this up sometimes, and usually before the day is over, I put it in the closet. So it's been here for about an hour now, so you probably won't see it again. It's not 1080. It's small. It's my ex-wife has in her room a big, LG monitor. This is 720p max, so they're inexpensive, big monitors now. Well, I love this show, by the way, the Hollywood Masters. I don't think there's any more new episodes of it, but the guy interviews stars and people like that, and he does a fantastic job. Operation Mincemeat. I didn't watch that all the way through because I know it's a true story, and I know it, I know it from history. So I don't know what this Pine Gap is. Still game. I think that's the UK series, I believe. That it's finished. They've done The Forgotten Battle. I don't know which one they're talking about. This is Netflix, of course, stuff. Sea Power. I think I've watched this, I believe. By the way, I bought it for the ex-wife for her TV Oh, Better Call Saul. I watched a few episodes of that. It's really, really good. What got me interested in watching it, my ex-wife was watching it and mentioned many times how much she liked it. And I just wasn't impressed. I didn't, but what happened is I saw on YouTube, you know, people make clips, take little clips out of things and put them in, like all the shooting things from the TV shows or something like that. And I watched just a couple of things like that, and I thought, wow. And I don't think I've watched Darkest Hour. I watched that. Not Roosevelt, Churchill. Anyway, I watched that, and that's good. Not a sports fan, really, very much. Anyway, what's the project for today? Not sure. For the room, I need to, need to put some stuff, put some stuff away. The room is much better shape. Well, I don't know if you can see the bed back there. Everything ends up on my bed. There's not a lot on there now, but every time I want to do something around here, Mike, or Big Illegally or whatever, the comedian, he is, I've watched all his comedy specials. Baseball. Okay, I don't know what this is. I have trouble finding things to watch, and when I was young, there was no television. I think I was like 9 years old when television came to Kansas City, Missouri. One channel. My parents went out like to the municipal auditorium downtown. They had TVs there, and of course there wasn't any TV station. And my parents bought one, and we, they hooked it up, and I think I better turn this off. I can't do two things at once. Anyway, I bought this remote control Roku. We have several of them around here because my ex-wife has gone through a bunch of Roku television sets, and we end up with the. Anyway, I bought the new one that uses voice and that type of stuff, and I got it for her. She's never interested in it, So it's in here. I've used it a couple times. Seems like it works okay. What was I saying? Oh, anyway, the project again today is to put some stuff away and get this place better organized. Let's check CNN and hope that it doesn't get me talking about politics. I don't really want to talk about politics, and you don't want to hear about politics. Liz Cheney says that if Trump is the presidential nominee for the Republican Party, that she'll stop being a Republican. It says here Democrats are warming to a Biden 2024 campaign. There's been a whole bunch of comments from people saying that they don't think he's going to run. I think he's doing as good of a job as you can do, after Trump with everything that's going, with everything that's going on. So, I mean, I'm fine with Biden, but if we could come up with a candidate for the Democratic Party, somebody better, and that'd be great. Another storm for Florida. I spent, 1 year I think it was, or over in Orlando, and 5 years in Miami. So when I was in Miami, I saw, several hurricanes. I took some still pictures and I think a little bit of video. I'm not sure where that is. Maybe it's way back on my YouTube video someplace. I'm not sure. Let's see. Atlanta, Georgia wants to build a massive police training facility in a forest. Neighbors are fighting to stop it. I'm not going to click on it and see why, Must be maybe it's an expensive, neighborhood, and they don't want. I guess I could click on it and see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and click on it and see. I'm thinking maybe it's an expensive, people have nice places out there. Maybe they don't want a police training facility that's going to have maybe car paths or whatever, so police can do their training from their, high-speed driving and that type of stuff. Maybe they don't want to hear tires squealing, or I don't know. Let's see what the reason is. It seems like by the way, the Fort Worth PD took me on a tour of their police academy, and nice. But after that, they were building. When I went down there, when they took me down there to show it to me, they built a new one, and I guess it had the track on there. They said was going to be much better. Well, in fact, I'm not sure they had one located exactly at the. I think it might have been someplace else, but at the new academy that they built, there was going to be the track and everything. Anyway, popped in my head about when I went to the police academy in Greater Kansas City area. Well, the thing that popped in was when I went for the Reserve Officer Academy. It was located. Well, that was their police academy. That was yeah. But it was built in what used to be a nunnery, or a place, multiple buildings and chapel and all that type of stuff. And it was, it was a night that worked out great. We could, because it was no longer a place for nuns, and we could use their roads in there a little bit to, do the driving around. They told us, do not leave the school area, the campus type thing. There used to be a nunnery, or whatever they call it. And sure enough, some of the officers, I'm not sure if it was one car or whatever, they drove right out of the thing onto the roads and started driving around. And then I got teamed up with I was already a police officer. And I went to the academy, though, because, the Raymore PD said, you're grandfathered in, you don't have to go, but do you want to? I said, oh yeah, I want to go. So I went. But I got teamed up with a female for the little driving thing we did. And she had no previous experience or whatever. And so, but I was like riding with her. And, she didn't listen to any input from me. I mean, I wasn't somebody that, was like a know-it-all or anything like that. I was quiet and all that type of stuff. But, too, the thing with the way the academy worked, which I think is actually, I think it's the wrong way. What do I know? I think it's the wrong way to do things. Except for one. Every scenario that we had, you knew that the officers who were from like Kansas City Police Department or whatever, maybe some others too, came in, and you knew you were going to be attacked. And so I remember the one time that we got a call, and it was like a domestic dispute call or something like that. This is a training scenario, thing. And so then we go, two of us. And then we're both, because you knew you were going to, well, we didn't get jumped that time, so we were like, and two, the officers, like they enjoyed doing it. The Kansas City, Missouri police officer and whatever agency pulled someone in to do it. And they were not, they weren't gentle at all about the thing, and they ripped, like some of our uniforms, some of our leather got ripped and holsters got ripped and all this type of stuff. And then too, like I said, they weren't, you knew you were going to get attacked, but I'm not going to stomp on somebody's, foot, or I'm not going to try to hurt a police officer in training. I'm not going to do it. They weren't hesitating, they didn't hesitate at all to do that. I think they'd have been much better, we had stage there or whatever. I think it'd be much better to have the situation set up. And then, not necessarily, maybe sometime you would, not jump upon the person or whatever and put them in a chokehold or something like that. I think it'd be much better to say, okay, this is the type of situation you're going to run into, and you may have people will be moving around, and you don't want to, and whatever the situation was, okay, you have a psych patient here, you have somebody with schizophrenia or something like that, and then explain, say, okay, and you could have the person, okay, don't corner the person, you want to keep them from getting away or doing whatever, but don't put them in, and talk about things like, if you're staring in their eyes, or sure, you want to watch them, you want to watch their hands, all this kind of stuff, but don't put them in. And I think they've been much better talking about it rather than walking into these situations and being, having the person jump you, whatever. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to upload this video, and I think the audio will be okay. And why don't you take bets on whether this will be here on the next video. Thank you very much for watching.